is WCIA 3 News at 10 in high definition.
The entire month of April, we're going to have a huge influx of people here in Champaign.
And thousands of people will be spending millions of dollars. Good evening, I'm Aaron Eads.
And I'm Emily Braun. People are getting ready for what's expected to be one of the biggest months Champaign-Urbana has ever had. Between the Garth Brooks concert, the Illinois Marathon, and Ebert Fest, hotels will be packed. And those working behind the scenes say getting everything ready is no small task.
These are all the events happening. These are how many people we expect in. This is kind of what you need to do.
Those words became a drill to Leah Longville. She works with Visit Champaign County, and her job has been to make sure every restaurant and hotel is ready for one of the busiest months in CU's history, down to the small details.
Making sure that all the hotels have matching t-shirts and things that really welcome people in.
Hotel manager Molly Mooney says that bit of planning is what she's got on her plate now. But a few weeks ago, she was answering phone call after phone call after phone call.
All those weekends were sold out for it. It is pretty big around the whole community. I think most hotels you'll find are the same thing.
These events don't just mean a lot of people coming into town, they mean a lot of money too.
The economic impact of that continues to generate over time. So there's a huge ripple effect. It increases jobs, it brings more money into our community.
How much money? Take a look at just the Garth Brooks concert. All 4 of those shows are sold out. That means about 60,000 tickets were sold. Each ticket was $75. Do the math, and that's several million from tickets alone. Then you add in the marathon, where people are flying in town from all over the world to run, plus tickets sold for the various events throughout Ebert Fest. It's a lot of income. But Longville and Mooney say it's tough to put a price on all the excitement.
The community is just so welcoming and warm for these kind of events.
Our staff gets excited. Like I mentioned, people coming in, you can tell that there's a good vibe and energy for it, so they're fun to have here.
Aside from those 3 events, the U of I is also having its Mom's Weekend, April 7th through the 9th. Ebert Fest will be the first of the 3 big events. That one starts April 19th and runs through the 23rd, and that coincides with the Illinois Marathon Weekend, running from April 21st through the 23rd. And the month wraps up with Garth Brooks performing on the 29th and the 30th.
Police are still investigating after a 24-year-old died after he was shot several times in Springfield. It happened on East Watch Street on Friday. Desmion Poole was pronounced dead later. The coroner says he had multiple gunshot wounds. An autopsy for Poole was performed yesterday. The police department says they are investigating this as a homicide. Anyone with information should call them or Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. Well, if you drive around Champaign County, you may be starting to see how some people feel about the future of its nursing home. The April 4th ballot will help the Champaign County Board decide what to do with it. The options are either to keep it under the county's control or sell it to a private entity. For some people, their view boils down to whether or not they think privatization is a good idea.
There's a responsibility to our elderly and to the poor to take care of them, especially at that stage of life. So that's why we're opposing privatization.
So not only would more people be served, but the care would probably improve, because right now the county's got a 1-star rating from Medicare, and it can't get any worse than that.
If the nursing home stays, the county will likely need to raise property taxes to pay off its debt.
If you want to cast your vote on that and other issues, you don't have to wait until the 4th to do it. Early voting starts tomorrow for the Champaign County Consolidated election. That means registered voters can vote by mail. You can also stop by the Champaign County Clerk's office in Urbana to do it. More locations will open on March 31st. Inmates in the Sangamon County Jail will soon have 24-hour health care. Before, there were no medical professionals on site for 8 hours. Jail staff would have to send inmates to the emergency room for after-hours care. Correctional officers would also have to step up and help inmates, and that led to a staffing shortage. With the addition of on-site medical staff, officials say they can give inmates more effective care.
It gives us the opportunity to have medical professionals here to help us make decisions on what we need to do with inmates that are coming in.
The money to pay for these new employees will come from money raised by inmates' purchases.
The next lottery ticket you buy could support a good cause. We're keeping you connected to the Capitol. The lottery is bringing back the MS Project ticket to help fight multiple sclerosis. These instant scratch-off tickets cost $3 with the chance to win $50,000. All of the profits benefit the MS Research Project. Nearly 400,000 people in the U.S. suffer from MS, including the Lieutenant Governor.
The gentleman had told me, "Did you know you had MS?" And that turned my life around. No other day after that was ever the same.
More than $8 million have been raised from these tickets since 2008.
A Danville woman says a treasured item of hers may have been mistaken for salvage. Yesterday, we told you about Lincoln United Methodist Church. The building will be torn down, so the church hosted a salvage day so people could claim sentimental items. Connie Sellers was married there more than 45 years ago. She brought her wedding album with her so she could look through it at the church before it's gone. She says she set it on the back pew, but when she went back for it, it was gone, along with all of her wedding photos. She also had family pictures and her marriage certificate inside. Anyone who finds it is asked to call the Lincoln United Methodist Church in Danville. Thousands of people from all over the world used to visit Arcola to see the Raggedy Ann Museum.
But the town lost its hidden gem when it closed in 2009. Now, almost 10 years later, two women are trying to bring it back. WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen is with us. Jennifer, they're working to restore the museum.
That's right, Aaron. They're in charge of the creator's family's estate. Several items are set to be auctioned off, but they want to see them stay in Arcola. So they started an online campaign to raise money, hoping to see the museum make a comeback.
From the little town of Arcola came a doll that transformed into a household name across the world. Raggedy Ann was created by Arcola native Johnny Gorell, and the town became known for the doll's charm.
It's amazing that little Arcola had the history of Raggedy Ann and Andy start here.
In 1999, the family opened a museum dedicated to Raggedy Ann.
When we first moved here, the museum was open and we loved it.
But 10 years later, the museum closed because the family didn't have enough money to keep it open.
Well, matter of fact, today we just had customers that were asking about the Raggedy Ann Museum. And, you know, of course, we tell all of them that, you know, it's not here any longer.
And many people in town say it was a devastating loss. Gorell painted 7 murals of Raggedy Ann, but because his family couldn't afford the museum's upkeep, they recently decided to put them up for auction. The two women running the auction wanted to raise enough money to keep the murals in town and possibly even reopen the museum.
It just means the world. It just really does, that something is a part of history is just a block away from us. And especially something that has been around forever needs to be brought back.
The estate sale is still going on, but if they raise enough money to save the murals and the museum, they plan on displaying the paintings up on the walls if it reopens. Aaron?
All right, Jennifer, thank you for that. If you are interested in donating, we have a link to the campaign on our website, IllinoisHomepage.net.
A historic U of I building will be silent while it undergoes major renovations. Altgeld Hall was built in 1897. Right now, the university is working on fixing the bell tower, but that's just part of a larger project to update the entire building. The university has budgeted $90 million for this project. One student says they understand the need.
The Altgeld Hall needs some renovation. I took some classes such as Calculus 2 or Calculus 3, and I felt that class is really very old with lack of support for taking notes.
Around 18,000 students take classes at Altgeld Hall each year. University officials say they're looking to modernize the classrooms. There will be no chimes at noon until work on the tower is finished.
Well, officials say road rage incidents in one state are on the rise, and it's not too far away from us.
Also tonight.
And whenever I went to check out, it said, "We think you're a robot." And I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? This is insane."
You've probably heard it's not easy to get Garth Brooks tickets. Why this woman says her experience was a little different.
Plus, you already know what Josh Whitman thinks about the new Illini men's basketball coach. Tonight, hear what the players think about him.